Hello, everyone. Today is Monday, August 25th, 2025. Jump date for Tuesday, 26th. All right, let's go. Well, as far as setups, none again tonight. I actually like this JBL as a short. Just not super excited about shorting just yet, but I'll walk you through that in just 1 second. Go ahead and bump your stop a little on KGC. We've been playing keep the change a little bit on this, but now it's getting pretty wide, so we're going to do that on a less one-for-one basis, or we're not going to allow it to open up quite as much for now, at least. But we did bump it just a little bit less than its gain today, and that'll make sense. In just 1 second, let's take a look at the Landry list. You can see this JBL. This is kind of a pioneer setup. Early phases of breaking down, I should say. Now it has some overhead supply. It will likely bow tie fairly soon. If you did go after it, about 203.50 or right below this low, somewhere in that area, 202.50, I guess, and then stop out right above or slightly above this 30 EMA. It shouldn't get through this resistance, but for now, this is a bit of a pioneer, risky type of setup. You're kind of fighting the market now, so I would leave it alone for now. Years ago, when I was programming trading systems, we would they would ask me to put a filter in for markets, and if the overall market was above the 50-day moving average, you didn't take shorts, and that seemed to help some. Of course, when something breaks down quickly, then most people are trapped on the wrong side of the market, so that's a trade-off there. So it would be kind of a risky setup. Just want to kind of show you what I'm seeing. Oracle, somewhat similar. I like JBL better. This is even more of a pioneer setup, but Oracle's lost some steam too. So not the end of the world, the fact that we're seeing a short or two, but I do want to pay attention, or we should pay attention, I should say, to what's going on and see if we start seeing more and more setting up. Let's take a look at the portfolio. ABCL still remains in the Burma column. As long as these recent little bottoms hold, I wouldn't get too excited, but obviously on your stops just in case. KGC up a little today, and that's why we're stinching to stop a little bit too on that one, giving it a couple cents to open up. Katos rallied nicely earlier, but came back in a little by the end of the day, but still slightly in the plus column, so that's better than the poke in the eye. TFPM, not a whole lot to report there, down a little after trying to rally, but looks okay longer term. And finally, TGen, selling off a little bit, continues to consolidate in here. Longer term still looks pretty good as an IPO. Obviously, I'd like to see new highs, though. All right, let's take a look at the overall market. There's a few things to flesh out tonight. Let's start with the Ps. S&P 500, not the end of the world, but it always amazes me. You have these big old up days, and then the market just kind of chops it around a little bit. Down a little. No big deal. It still looks pretty good longer term. Same thing happening with the NASDAQ composite. Kind of Flatsville there. Still looks pretty good. Rusty 2000 gave it up a little, losing 1% on the day, but so far that recent little breakout remains intact. I'd like to see this guy just break out and not look back for a while. E for shares, speaking of breaking out and not looking back, E for shares did not do that, coming right back in. Still look okay longer term, but stalled out a little. Now, Bitcoin, it's getting whacked a little bit more in after hours, or the spot market, I should say, as opposed to the GBTC. But it is beginning to break down a bit. It does have some support over here. We'll just have to wait and see how it shakes out. But I would avoid any Bitcoin for now. Gold, the commodity, up, down a little, I should say, after yesterday's or Friday's big rally. It's still above the 30 EMA. Gold stocks now slightly up on the day. That might have been what I was thinking about. Right here, a brand new high. So far, so good there. Some areas like broker dealer are losing a little steam, but financials would be another example of that lately. But one or two big up days will make all the difference in the world. Of course, follow through will be key. Speaking of financials, you can see came in a little today. I'd like to see a breakout again and not look back. Stop me if you heard that before. So broker dealer, same sort of thing, just kind of consolidating at these high levels. Still a longer term trend, but obviously I'd like to see them bang out some new highs sooner rather than later. Software, another one of those sectors that's sort of questionable. As I've been saying quite a bit, it stalled out a little bit at its prior high in here. Now it has a bit of a first thrust look to it. Probably also a bow tie, but one or two big up days would certainly fix that, but obviously that'll have to happen. Defense is consolidating right around that 30 EMA. So far, just kind of basing out, but obviously a big down day would make that look a little uglier, and a big up day would make it look a lot better. So at a bit of an inflection point, but longer term still in a pretty good trend. Pot stocks, bam, winning, breaking out to new highs with vigor. TLRY, which was on the recent Landry list, and I don't want to act like the one that got away, but it's really done fairly well since Mitch, and I think it's more than doubled since. So that's kind of an interesting thing there. Maybe we'll see some setups in those stocks fairly soon. Semiconductors continue to consolidate right around 30. Flatsville today, so not a whole lot to report. But the good news is they are hanging around that 30 EMA, maybe taking a breath before moving higher. So overall, things still look pretty good. I guess there's always something to worry about. That's just markets. But let's just sit tight for now and wait for setups. There's just not a whole lot jumping out at me lately, but that's okay. That's just the market in the database doing its thing. Let's just let it all shake out and see where we go. Everybody have a fantastic night. If you have any questions, Dave at DaveLandry.com. Thank you so much.